Otherwise, just let's go on.
Well, let me say something to you, sir, because we are trying to take care of some city business and find out some information. I can't get it on the agenda. The mayor will not put anything on the agenda.
It takes 2 council members to put something on the agenda.
I can't get it on there. He types up the
agenda. You know what? I tell you what. Steve Apsey, police chief, leave it alone.
Absolute embarrassment to me.
It's an embarrassment
You
to
are
me.
an embarrassment.
No.
Oh, shut up.
I'm sorry that we are part of this city, because you are all acting like a bunch of spoiled children.
Yes.
Now take that in your craw and swallow it. You can't get anything done for arguing and fighting.
Can't get anything done by asking for it either, apparently.
You have no respect for one another. I never knew this was even going on.
Oh, you should be here more often.
Well, I guarantee you, it's a shame. It's an absolute embarrassment. I'm a professional.
Ma'am, I just have a comment for you. My only agenda, my only interest is what's best for the city.
Oh, wait a second.
Let it go. Let's move on.
I think you need to use your mouth and get some order.
All right, let's move on.
Somebody needs to step forward and act like an adult in this room.
You're
and
absolutely
take
right,
order.
man. You're absolutely
And
right.
quit acting this way.
You're absolutely right. We're going to move on. Thank you for your comment.
You're welcome.
All right. As I was, I hope this doesn't go any further, but I got to do what I got to do.
And you don't know my name. Please don't publish it.
As I was driving to...
Hey, Sally.
Anybody to know my name.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. Can I go now? I was driving on my way to Dallas last Thursday when I got a phone call from the associate judge that there were allegations made that Cofy City officials were under investigation. That's not true. And I don't know specifically how it started, but it's just not true. So what I want to do is show you this newscast and then show you how Channel 19 had come back and rebutted it. We can't, because it wasn't true. And I don't know who made the allegations or what happened, but, you know, I didn't find out till I got back from Dallas. So, play it, Shalane.
Mayor, if I could, can I add just something?
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew, but I found out about it. The next day, I called Dan Delgado, who is the news director at Channel 19, and I left him a long message because he didn't answer his phone. After that, he was sent a letter, and the same day the retraction occurred, I think it's the same day they got the letter, but that all is correct. There is not now, and as far as I know, there won't be over anything that at least was said on the newscast. But Dan Delgado's office was contacted Friday by telephone, and I have yet to receive a phone call back, but there is 3 retractions, because then I received a letter from their attorney indicating that it would be retracted and that it would be retracted at the 5, 6, and 10 o'clock news.
And that's when it happened, because I informed him that that you had already been made known of the situation. Go ahead, Rose, Celine.
Neighbors in Cofy City tell us they're fed up with city leadership. CBS 19's Phil Sutton joins us now in the newsroom. And Phil, you met with one side this afternoon.
Well, Justin, the neighbors who were going up against the city are happy to answer questions, but getting anything from the city was like pulling teeth. This whole thing started when Cofy City annexed some land on the north shore of Lake Palestine and inherited some unwilling residents. They've been neighbors for years. Lynn Weir, Betty Savage, and her son Lauren are all within walking distance, but now they walk on streets that belong to Cofy City.
It was for breed, that's what it was.
That same annexation got the city some land on the other side of Highway 155.
John Graham himself has some road frontage 155 property. What they had in mind after we dug into it was they were going to make a peninsula boardwalk amusement type thing.
Graham is the mayor pro tem of Cofy City. He's also the one who's ruffled the most feathers. His truck plastered with a message against President Obama. Some call it racially inflammatory and inappropriate.
We have so much racial injected into our city at this time. They won't tell you that with their mouth, but when you're here and you see it, you know it.
The neighbors we spoke with agree. Once they got in the way of the city's attempt at redevelopment and tourism revenue, Graham went looking for revenge.
What Graham may not have known is that the Weirs have security cameras, 2 of them pointed right out here, and they caught the whole thing.
Weir says the video shows a red Chevy truck like Graham's speeding down the road, swerving violently into a ditch, and finally, a sign from the driver.
Making obscene gestures to me.
By the way, Weir says those roads haven't been touched since they became the city's responsibility. They shared countless other stories of strange encounters and vindictive reactions. We went to Graham's home to ask him about it, but he wasn't there, and the fight is about to leave Cofy City.
We felt like we were being hamstrung locally.
It seems like everybody passes the buck.
Well, just recently, the neighbors took their complaints to the Texas Rangers, and we've confirmed the Rangers are launching an investigation into what's going on in Cofy City. As for Graham, he sent us an email this afternoon saying, quote, "Go buy the Frankston paper and get, say, 3 months of copy to read what those who receive services for nothing write about our small town." Justin?
Now, Field, we actually originally learned about this story because of a set of emails allegedly sent by Graham, and you saw those.
Justin, those emails went to another city councilwoman. They're filled with personal attacks and even a mention of Graham being happy to see her husband struggling with his health. He did not deny sending those emails this afternoon. Live from the CBS 19 newsroom, I'm Field Sutton. Back to you.
Okay, Field, thank you. And we also went to City Hall with the allegations from Field's story. No one would comment there either.
Keep the shorts out of the picture for at least a couple, maybe a week or so. It's comes back out.
We have a correction to make this evening. On Thursday, we ran a story about a political fight in Cofy City. Now, in that story, we inadvertently reported incorrect information given to us by the Department of Public Safety. The information suggested an investigation of Cofy City's current leadership. Cofy City leaders are not under investigation, and we apologize for that mistake. Leadership. Cofy City leaders are not under investigation.
We'll make sure they hear that.
Apologize for that mistake.
Say goodbye to the iconic Walmart.
My name's Robert Ray, and I'd like to welcome you all to our site. I'd like to thank all of you that's been coming to our site.
Another Confederate flag.
Soon, directly under this video, will be posted 2 email addresses to which you can write. If you're having trouble with the Cofy City government or the Cofy City police, if you've gone to all the other authorities and you don't know where to turn, you can email us right here at these addresses, and we'll do what we can.
You, Johnny, you had everything. And by messing with me, by making an enemy out of me, you handed the concerned citizens another weapon. All that I was a bored fella sitting at home, sitting on the internet, looking for people to have a conversation with. And look what you've done. And look what's happened since. And you're so stupid that you don't know when to cut your losses. Just now, to you and to the citizens of Cofy City and the Lake area in general, I'd like to introduce a person. Shadow Warrior, come on out and say hello to the folks. Everyone, this is Shadow Warrior. Shadow Warrior is highly intelligent, college educated. Shadow Warrior is a martial artist, an expert, intellectual and journalistic ninjutsu. Shadow Warrior will come to you if you least expect it. If you want to know where to watch for Shadow Warrior, watch in the trees. Shadow Warrior is dark as a raven, black and flying. Shadow Warrior is the justice of heaven. You will never know the Shadow Warrior. The Shadow Warrior is no fear of his body, like everyone else. You know, or whimpering, idiotic.
Oh, we can replay it.
Coward you are.
Well, if you want us to hear it, quit talking during it, please.
I sure will, Pamela.
Shadow
We
Warrior.
can play it again for you.
Are you afraid of
Sure
Johnny?
will.
Shadow Warrior, Have you dug up some interesting things on Johnny that we haven't posted yet? Would you say that the number of anonymous tips and people who are coming to you with problems with Johnny and items about the life of Johnny that you're going to post are quite interesting? Will you ever stop until we won, Shadow Warrior? Thank you, Shadow Warrior.
This is serious.
You'll never know who he is, Johnny. When you have your next city hall meeting, will he be in the audience? When you go to the store, will he be watching you? Is he following you on the road? Is he scouring through the public records? Who is Shadow Warrior? Is he perhaps even from law enforcement? You get online and scream that you know who I am. You posted my picture, my mugshot. You posted my record that you found online at Smith County's website. You had Don Weaver framed. Framed! You think that posting my past, posting my picture and trying to shame me online, do you think that posting that you have not yet gone after my family members and property, do you think that that's going to stop me, Johnny? Have you seen me blink yet, Johnny? All I can tell you is this, Johnny. We are legion. We are everywhere. We are the people. That makes us your boss. There are not words to describe the images that go through my mind of the things that I would like to do. If you want to have anything close to an idea of it, I would suggest the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Johnny, I'm going to slay you with the truth. I'm going to slay you with justice.
Slim, I think I might want to cut it off.
Slay you with your own actions.
I think we've heard enough of this.
Can you believe that?
So I'm not going to get into a long, abbreviated discussion about who's doing what and who's what, but I would tell you this, from sitting there watching that film, I have the whole film for anybody who wants to see it. It's about 15 minutes long. I just put parts around that I really didn't like those two Confederate flags. So I would say if there's a problem with your concerned citizen, not with us. There's no racial problem on our side. And now put your hand down. Am I indicating that you have anything to do with racism? No, Ray Wakeman, I don't think so. However, you got two men standing up, and the common denominator is they have Confederate flags hanging up there while they're talking. And I don't appreciate that. So as far as the racism goes, there's no racism as far as I'm concerned in Cofy City. Now, any problem with anybody else, and that's what you need to do with you and your concerned citizen, because those are your two your new recruitees or whatever. So,
can I make a comment?
Sure, go ahead.
There's probably a handful of people that associate with that group. I am not part of it. The majority of the concerned citizens in Cofy City don't have anything to do with that. So you can't blame the entire group of the concerned citizens for what you have a handful of people that are doing. I don't agree with that either.
Do you agree with that website that they have?
No.
But somebody's feeding them information. They got Ray's contract. Where did they get that
Yeah,
from?
they're never at the meetings, and somehow or another they get the
I
information.
don't know where they're getting it.
But I would not align myself with either one of those organizations because it's an embarrassment to me.
Who said we were?
Well, I'm just saying, I would not. I said, I would not. I would not.
He said that he is a member of the concerned citizen.
Yes, but you know, like I said, there's probably over 100 members that associate with the concerned citizen.
That do not know that type of practice takes place.
You may have 5 or 6
and I agree
people
with you.
that do that.
Well, they surprised me that I'm hearing allegations of racism and all this, but you got two people standing up there with Confederate
Well,
flags.
you need to talk
but
to those
I don't need to
people.
talk to nobody. I'm just pointing the finger where it's supposed to go. They are concerned citizens.
They're not part of the group I'm in.
Oh, so you have a separate entity. So does all the folks in your concerned citizen group, do they realize that you might have some supremacy groups or something involved with your concerned citizen? Or that you're associated with them? Or they call themselves the concerned citizen?
I have no idea what their intentions are.
Can I say something, please?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I've been coming in here about 2 years, seeing the stuff, and I'm just like this lady here. It's really embarrassing when we do come in and we're fighting. I'm embarrassed by what Mr. Graham put out this last deal with Pam and what he said here. I do know this, if we don't stop, Coffee City is going to fail. If we don't decide to get together on what we're doing, we're going to fail. We're going to end up like CUNY. Now, there may be people who want that. I don't. And I think the majority of us don't want that. I think all of our personal issues need to be left outside that door and stop this bickering. You've got the radicals that are claiming to be Coffee City. I do not believe that the 100 people or whoever are in the group support this. They cannot control that website. They cannot control what they're asking, the freedom of information. I've been taken in to my boss's office a couple of times, and this is not for the paper. What I did, come in here with my uniform, it's not illegal. I work 10, 12-hour days. I come in here on my own free time to try to help get the city going. Somebody's complaining because I came in my uniform. I really don't care. They're just going to go from one thing to another. The concerned citizens as a group cannot control those guys, Mr. Mayor. I've looked at the website. I've tried to get into I'm not a hacker. I don't want to be a hacker. I'm like, okay, let's give them a virus and eat that website up. But you're always going to have those people, and there's just a few of them. But there's more of us who want positive things for the city. And if we don't start getting our act together and stop this bickering, stop accusing, then nobody's going to be able to accomplish anything. And I just think we need to stop. And today, I think everybody needs to agree, or if you don't agree, then don't come into the meetings anymore. I think there's more harm being done by those who try to do well because they're getting personally involved, and it's got to stop. I was working. I don't want to be applauded. I don't want to be applauded.
I agree with everything you've said.
I've been talking to, and I told you this in the past, I was talking to a man to come in and bring in a business as shipping company. Kind of like USA Parcel Post or whoever it is. He told me, you want me in the middle of all that?
Yeah.
He saw the website. I mean, I don't understand why we really can't legally make him take that down, because he's saying that this was the official website of Coffee City. I don't know how we cannot make him do that. But anyhow, if we can't as a group get together and show that we're better than those 3 or 4 that have lost their minds, then we're not any better than they are. We're just going at it differently. So I'm asking you, if you want me and some of these other people that volunteer our time, if you want us to continue here, then something's got to change, folks. I mean, I got lots of stuff I can do. Lots. So, anyway.
And I would like to say this.
Amen.
Yes, and I firmly believe that the concerned citizens are truly concerned, and I believe that their minds are being tainted by the very few. Because one of the things we don't do is we don't use our letter that we've agreed to send out to inform people of what we're actually doing. But as far as the citizens, I know a lot of these people, and I know that they're concerned, but they're being lied to and given tainted information. But as far as the citizens, I think that they're legitimate.
When you hear some bull crap on the field, the worst thing you can do is respond to it. That's what they want you to do, is respond. And when you send these emails, it's just giving them more fuel for their fire. I heard this thing the other day on the TV, and it was actually Angelina Jolie. She was in an interview, and they asked her what was the best advice her mother ever gave her. And she said, never read anything about yourself. So if there's an article in the paper, don't read it. Don't respond to it. That's what they want you to do. And you've just got to stay focused on what we're trying to do. From what I understand, this city was really just raped and taken advantage of by the previous people that were in here. You were handed a mess, trying to clean it out. You're still trying to clean up the mess with the IRS and all that kind of stuff. Is that correct? All right. So the people that we have sitting here are not here to try to be dishonest. There may be a lot of things that maybe people don't understand the way it should be. Maybe the way the laws are supposed to. I'm still learning all that. Yeah, I have a book I'm trying to study, but I'm not going to get it all. You know, and if you have a suggestion or something, a lot of ways that you present it is what's wrong. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And if you come in accusing someone right off the bat, they're not going to listen to you, they're not going to open their doors, and they're not going to respond to you. And I just wish everybody would just chill out and realize we're all here for the same purpose. And if not, then I've got things I can do. So anyway.
Quit writing letters to the editor.
Stop. Stop writing.
Well, I like what you said, Donna. But there's another thing to that. And I hope you come back, but that's your decision. We're all not trying to do the same thing. We're trying to grow the city. They're trying to tear the city down. That's the difference.
Who's they?
They, the concerned citizens.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's just you are.
Well, now, wait a minute. Let me clarify that. When you say concerned citizens, I think the groups that you portrayed on the TV set is the ones I have concern about. I believe that there is 100 or more concerned citizens that have legitimate concerns, and I believe they really want to see the city work. And so you can't just lump them all in one group. And I know that's what your intentions are, Mayor, but there is legitimate people in this town that are concerned citizens that are being fed this propaganda, and it's tainting them, and it's making them look on us in a bad way. But I believe that the 100 or so concerned citizens, I believe they're really sincere, and I believe that they want to see the city grow.
Let me say this.
And I believe that, like I say, I believe they're being fed propaganda about such things as this and other things. But I don't believe that you can just put a stamp on the concerned citizens, because I believe that I know a bunch of them, and I know there's some very good people, and I know their intentions are good, and I think we have a letter to tell them, we have this letter we can send out that will tell them what our intentions are and what we're trying to attain. And I think we need to start doing that instead of allowing propaganda to feed the minds of the true to heart concerned citizens.
Okay. Now, I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave it alone. You're not here every day. Okay? And I'm not trying to defend anything. You're not here every day. You're not here when we send a request to annex to the Department of Justice. And you're not here when that comes back for the CC by 10 concerned citizens. In other words, those 10 have been trying to pull something. You're not here. You're not here when the Ethics Commission from Austin calls me and said we did something unethical because John Graham gave Burke a gun. You're not here for all that every day. You're not here with the thousands of reports or the things that go on every day.
I understand that, Tony.
Okay?
I know about a lot of that, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying that
is
not a sampling of the actual concerned citizens. That's the people that are the destroyers.
Okay.
And I agree with you on them. I think that their intentions are ill, and I don't think anyone should listen to them, but everybody likes gossip and lies. That goes faster than the birth or a birth announcement or a wedding announcement or something good. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And I just wish, like Donna says, I wish everybody could come together and pull together for the city. And I think the concerned citizens, if they were informed by the proper sources, I think that we could make a go at this. That's what I'm saying.
Well, anyway, yeah, go ahead, sir.
If concerned citizens are so concerned, why ain't they here at this meeting?
That's a real good question. I can't have you answer. I noticed that there's more from Broadwood Bay here than anywhere.
Yeah, who were the ones that did all this on Channel 19?
They did which part?
Who were the ones that turned this all into Channel 19?
It's four of them. It's mainly four same ones over and over.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say they started sending those requests to Broward Bay also.
Mm-hmm.
They started documenting different things. They're trying to incite the de-annexation. They're trying to get people involved in the vote that we had, just everything that we've done. So they turned their sights on us.
Exactly.
They refused me personally at times.
Yeah.
And
they're on Craigslist, boycotting the city, asking different people don't do business with Coffee City.
My point is, it's a website that is not a satirical website. It is a website that's designed to promote harm to the people that are involved with Coffee City.
Exactly.
And I have to say that anybody who even thinks that that is a worthwhile website to do anything with or for is not a true concerned citizen for Coffee City. I think the people that feed that website information and the people that are involved with that website should be ashamed of themselves.
I'd like to speak to one thing that Mike was just talking about.
Sure, sir.
And that was, Mike, you said the concerned citizens that you're aware of are not involved with what we just saw on the TV and affiliated with those websites. However, like the chief said, somebody gave those websites personal phone numbers.
Yeah.
So if it's not anybody involved in the websites, it's somebody in the concerned citizens
And
group
I believe that
you were
group is
speaking
very
of.
small. I believe that group is very small. I don't believe they represent the whole of Coffee City.
Have y'all thought about putting disclaimers to say radicals such as this?
I agree with you, but it is a very small group that is putting out this propaganda and doing all this imitation. The general public around here is not like that. I know a bunch of them.
That way
I know
y'all
for a
might
fact.
be separate, say, we don't align ourselves with these
Right
radicals.
to speak.
Go ahead.
Okay. I came to this city with very intent of being a part of it and belonging to it, and was going to go for the welcome committee. And I was even asked to do that, wasn't I, Abishon? Okay. Now, then I discovered that the truth wasn't being projected from this city council. You get one thing and another. This was before you came. That's why I threw my all in and I voted for you because of the things that were going on and I saw that didn't match up to truth. So I voted for you. And I stood with you until nobody would censor John Graham. And he sat here and he gave forth words of corruption, total disruption, character assassination. And you kind of fell into it, and you kind of fell out of favor with the people, inch by inch. And yet I still am defending you in the fact that you did not have the facts to be able to bring us forth an audit. You didn't have the facts to bring forth the budget until this past May. Then we got it. But do you know for sure that you got all the facts right? Because you were depending on somebody to give it to you that I had seen that was not honest. And then whenever all of you decided unanimously that you would neither confirm nor would you
condemn nor
condemn what John Graham did.
Right.
Then you were more or less throwing your weight there. Inch by inch, you lose favor. And that's when I said that we don't have the representative because we need somebody that knows how to lead the people. And that's all the people. And there is a way to do it, and it isn't with harshness, and it isn't with confrontation. It's with understanding that other person. Everybody has a right. Everybody has a right to their opinion. You have a right to your opinion. But this city council doesn't have a right to enforce their opinions off on others. And they kept saying, I've heard it 3 times, 1 from Bork and 2 from Cindy Craig. The people don't have any voice. They don't run this city. That's true. You've shown us that. But it wasn't you, Mayor. It was those that back behind you that were pushing you. And I'm still standing up for you because you couldn't have done any better. But you have thrown your weight in with them. And you have also been abrasive to the people. Not gentle, not kind, not understanding, but very abrasive. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Ms. Savage. And I appreciate that, but let me quantify this by saying this. One time we're going to go to executive session. When I was recruited by the quote-unquote concerned citizens, they wasn't a concerned citizen group, they were just a bunch of people who knew each other. I told them at that time, I have a background in this, I have a background in this, I have a background in business. Yeah.
I don't know if you knew, but I found out about it. The next day, I called Dan Delgado, who is the news director at Channel 19, and I left him a long message because he didn't answer his phone. After that, he was sent a letter, and the same day the retraction occurred, I think it's the same day they got the letter, but that all is correct. There is not now, and as far as I know, there won't be over anything that at least was said on the newscast. But Dan Delgado's office was contacted Friday by telephone, and I have yet to receive a phone call back, but there is 3 retractions, because then I received a letter from their attorney indicating that it would be
And fighting.
Can't get anything done by asking for it either, apparently.
You have no respect for one another. I never knew this was even going on.
You should be here more often.
Well, I guarantee you, it's a shame. It's an absolute embarrassment. I'm a professional.
Ma'am, I just have a comment for you. My only agenda, my only interest is what's best for the city.
Oh, wait a second.
There you go. Let's move on.
Use your mouth and
Yeah.
some order.
All right, let's move on.
Somebody needs to step forward and act like an adult in this room.
You're
and
absolutely
take
right,
order.
man. You're absolutely
And
right.
quit acting this way.
You're absolutely right. We're gonna move on. Thank you for your comment.
You're welcome.
All right. As I was, boy, I hope this doesn't go any further, but I gotta do what I gotta do.
And you don't know my name. Please don't publish it.
As I was driving to,
It's shame for anybody to know my name.
Okay, let's go.
okay, can I go now? I was driving on my way to Dallas last Thursday when I got a phone call from the associate judge that
Otherwise, just let's go on.
Well, let me say something to you, sir, because we are trying to take care of some city business and
Well,
find
then
out
put it
some
on an agenda.
information. I can't get it on the agenda. The mayor will not put anything
It
on
takes
the agenda.
2 council members
I
to put
asked for
something
it.
on the agenda.
I can't get it on there. He types up the
you know what? I tell you what, Steve Appsey,
You know,
police
you
chief,
people are an
leave it alone.
absolute embarrassment to me.
Yeah.
It's an embarrassment
You
to
are an
me.
embarrassment.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I'm sorry that we are part of this city, because you are all acting like a bunch of spoiled children.
Yes.
Now take that in your craw and swallow it. You can't get anything done for arguing.
There were allegations made that Coffee City officials were under investigation. That's not true. And I don't know specifically how it started, but it's just not true. So what I want to do is show you this newscast and then show you how Channel 19 had come back and rebutted it. We can't, because it wasn't true. And I don't know who made the allegations or what happened, but you know, I didn't find out till I got back from Dallas. So, play it, Shalane.
Mayor, if I could, can I